In this video today, I want to go over the highly popular testosterone supplements out on the market. To do that, I'm going to go through a little bit of background and touch on some of the myths and misconceptions that people are told on testosterone, and also what you should be doing to boost your testosterone naturally as opposed to synthetic injections, which lead to your body not being able to produce its own testosterone anymore. So let's hit on some of the benefits of high testosterone and why so many men are out to find a magical elixir pill to start boosting their own testosterone. We know that testosterone is the primary male sex steroidal hormone in the body. Some of its benefits would be lower body fat, more muscle mass, increased libido, and more overall energy. You'll have more of a broader shoulder, rigid jawline. It's all the classic characteristics of an alpha male, and women tend to attract to those sorts of males. But over the last 100 years or so, there's been an epidemic in testosterone levels among men worldwide. This has kind of been a hidden epidemic because the standards of what a normal range would be has also been lowered. So you could be someone with lower T and you're told you're right in range with where most males are. But if that were the case and most men are in a right range, why do we have so many commercials out there promoting all sorts of Viagra pills and ED pills and all those sort of things? Well, it's because we're subjected to numerous environmental xenoestrogens, and we also eat a lot of more processed foods that have all these additives and estrogen mimickers, and these things over time will slowly bring down your testosterone, and you may not even notice it because it's kind of a slow kill. So I just want to go over kind of a pro-testosterone diet. Some of these foods have been demonized over the last 25 years by bogus studies, and I think just now we're starting to kind of come around, and we've kind of passed that phase of demonizing things like butter and eggs and pretty much any dairy. Those are great pro-testosterone foods, and they contain cholesterol, which is like baby testosterone. It's just waiting to be converted into testosterone. Red meats are another really great thing. They contain a lot of creatine. They also have carnitine and certain nutrients that you don't really get from other food groups. And then you have your potatoes. All of your starchy carbohydrates are amazing for testosterone. Sweet potatoes and beets and all those things are also very good. But what we've been told is that we should switch out those foods for other things like margarine, tofu, soy milk, quit using butter and start using more vegetable oils to cook your food. Things like sunflower and canola, even cottonseed oil, and there's soybean oil there as well. These vegetable oils are just wreaking havoc on the body. They're very high in omega-6s, which is a pro-inflammatory omega. It's no wonder why so many people have problems with inflammation. Flax seeds is another thing that's been touted as a great health food, and that's probably one of the worst foods for men to eat because that contains phytoestrogens in it. And then you have your whole grains, and whole grains are about the worst kind of carbohydrate you can go with. The starchy carbs are much better for testosterone levels. So let's go over some of the other enemies of the almighty T. Medications is a big one. So many people on medications these days. Statin drugs are probably about one of the worst. But there's common stuff, even like painkillers and cough medicines. I think most people know about plastics and BPA, but you still have to watch out for even BPA-free plastics because there are other xenoestrogens that are in there that are not as well known about, like a BPS. Another thing, chlorinated pools. You never want to swim in chlorinated water. Sunscreens, bug repellents, cosmetics. I mean, I still don't really understand why you would really want to put these on your body. Sun is an amazing way to get vitamin D, and that's going to help raise your testosterone. So why block actual real vitamin D? Stress is probably the most common thing in our world today. Everything is so fast paced, and time efficiency here and there. No one gets a time to just relax anymore. So stress is at an all-time high throughout our society, which that leads to a lack of sleep. I mean, people can't sleep anymore. People are always engaged online and through electronics, and their brains just running on these high waves, and they can't get to sleep, or they don't have time to sleep. They're just working themselves to the bone. They have everything so scheduled and packed into their day that they really just kind of let sleep slide, and it never really recovers. And then there's the whole beer conundrum. When most people think about being a manly man, they think about, hey, I can drink my beer and hold my own with the best of them. Well, in reality, beer is a horrible thing for manly testosterone. Beer contains hops, and hops have been shown to be very, very estrogenic. And alcohol should be something that you keep at a minimal, and probably beer-wise, almost never. So I want to touch a little bit on DHT, or dihydrotestosterone. DHT is 10 times more powerful than testosterone. It's something that's being demonized by the public as well. It is what testosterone converts into in its final conversion. It is the androgen that is the alpha male producing androgen. This is what makes an alpha male an alpha male. DHT can cause hair loss, and apparently prostate problems. That is why it is so demonized. But what most people don't tell you is that prostate problems from high DHT come from having high estrogen as well. It's that combination that can trigger, prostate cancers and all those issues. So if you're somebody that keeps your estrogens in check and just lives a high testosterone, clean lifestyle, you're not going to have those problems. Saw palmetto is usually what most people will take when they have prostate issues, and this works by actually blocking testosterone from converting into DHT. And some people say, oh, that's great, because now we don't have to worry about having too much DHT. But they fail to recognize that there are great, wonderful benefits that come from DHT. So just taking a saw palmetto is not going to answer all your problems. It's kind of just masking one symptom. So let's go over ways that you can naturally boost your testosterone. Now you can do this two ways. You can boost it by addition, and you can boost it by subtraction. Now addition would be things like adding in red meats, eggs, and butter, potatoes, avocados, and celery into your diet. There are many more other pro-testosterone foods besides those as well. Drink plenty of water. Yes, water is something that is pro-testosterone when you stay hydrated. And milk, obviously, with its good animal fats. Lift weights, do explosive exercises and explosive training. A lot of people just like to kind of do a jog, or do some light weights, but that's going to do nothing for your testosterone. You have to be lifting heavy, or you have to be out doing explosive sprints, all of those kind of things. Pull-ups, body ups, all that kind of stuff is awesome for testosterone. Make sure that you get your 8 hours of sleep every night. And I know for a lot of people that's difficult. It's difficult for myself. But if you have certain nights where you're just not able to get that, try to make it up. If you're going to only get 6 hours of sleep one night, maybe you can have a night where you get 10 hours of sleep. Try to at least average 8 hours a night. And then just go out and get sun. I mean, that's one thing that I think our society's also turned away from is sun exposure. Another thing that's been demonized. Um, Stay away from those sunblocks and those sunscreens and just go out and get 15 minutes, a half an hour of sun, at midday. That's outstanding for your vitamin D levels in the body. Now, testosterone by subtraction, probably the number one thing that you can do right off the bat is lose that belly fat if it's something that you have. That's just storing up all kinds of estrogen in it. So try to lose that body fat first thing before you start anything else. Like I said before, avoid beer and alcohol for a while. Don't overwork yourself, raising that cortisol with all that stress. You could even do a detox program, a detox kit. Get some of those toxins and those phytoestrogens out of your body. Ditch the plastic products. If you go into the gym and you have a plastic water bottle, well, start bringing glass, or start with some stainless steel bottles or something else besides plastic. And then quit the fast food. I think most people probably know that, and it's just really difficult to do. But all those fast food, and even not fast food, but just restaurants in general, their cooking oils are usually always canola oil or soybean oil or cottonseed oil. It's all of those horrible vegetable oils for your body. So try to make your own foods from home if you want to start losing that belly fat and start on a high testosterone route. So finally, the supplements, what everyone's been waiting for. Herbals are probably the number one thing to go for if you're looking for a testosterone supplement. There are many herbs that are great for testosterone. There are some other herbs that are not so great and are just overhyped, and I'll go over those a little bit later. But I have listed here a few of the really good pro-testosterone herbs. I really like the horny goat weed, coleus forskholii, mucuna pruriens, suma root, ashwagandha, grape seed extract. And I mean, some of these are just awesome for general health, not even testosterone alone. But doing some of those would really make a difference. Some of the vitamins and minerals that you can do daily. Obviously, vitamin D3 if you're in the winter time, not in an area where you can get sun. It's always good. Vitamin K2 is a really good one. The boron, zinc, magnesium, and iodine are some of the best minerals that you can have for starting to raise your testosterone. And I think probably a lot of people know about the ZMA, zinc magnesium aspartate. That's zinc and magnesium with vitamin B6. That's a really good supplement as well. I tend to like different forms of those minerals and not necessarily the aspartate, so I kind of mix my own with that combination. Cod liver oil is spectacular. You're getting natural sources of vitamin D and vitamin A out of that. Creatine, that's going to be your best supplement as far as raising DHT levels in the body, and people also know its muscle building capabilities are outstanding. A couple other lesser known things like royal jelly and bee pollen. Royal jelly actually contains real testosterone in it, and then many other vitamins and minerals. It's basically a superfood that the queen bee eats. And pine pollen, also a superfood and something that is going to contain testosterone. So let's go over a little bit of what are the overhyped supplements. The big one is tribulus terrestris, of course. I've seen that one just about everywhere online. It's something that is in most testosterone proprietary blend supplements as well. But there's no scientific backing to it. So I don't even really know how it got to be such a big deal, but I would stay away from that. And the velvet deer antler is the same way. I mean, that's been touted as doing just about everything from raising growth hormone to anti-aging and muscle recovery, but in reality it's really nothing that's backed by science. The maca and shilajit are a little bit different. They may have good testosterone qualities to them, but it's really hard to find the actual thing. Most of the supplements are just a bunch of filler and not really the real ingredient. Shilajit should actually be in a resin form if you want real shilajit, and a lot of times I see it in a pill form or a powder, and that's not the way that shilajit is actually meant to be. So if you're getting something like that, you're probably just getting a lot of filler and nothing of the real thing. Fenugreek works the exact same way as saw palmetto. It's going to raise your testosterone by blocking the conversion into DHT. So if you're someone that just wants higher testosterone, I guess you can take it. But if you want to have high DHT, then it's not going to be for you. And stinging nettle is something that's used for prostate issues, and for some reason has been lumped into raising testosterone, but there is no scientific backing that it actually does raise testosterone. So let's wrap this thing up with a little quality check. If you're going to get some herbals, I would look for tincture form if you can find that. Those are going to be the best absorbed, and they're usually the freshest. The minerals, there's so many different forms of minerals out there that it can be a little bit overwhelming and confusing on what to get, and a lot of them are just cheap forms that don't absorb at all. Look for the orotate and the chelated forms of your minerals. And of course, try to buy organic. Organic has to go through a strict process to get that seal, the organic seal, so that's always good. And then be wary of certain supplements like the maca and the shilajit, and making sure that they're the actual thing that they say they are. About 90% of the time they're not. And then, raising your testosterone is a lifestyle. It's going to take more than supplements to do it. So eat well, lift well, and sleep well. This has been another episode of Supplemental Sense.